Well, we're almost through April. And maybe a little bit of catch-up, I guess, some of the things that we've done. Let's see, I watched House of the Dragon Season 2. And I don't have a lot to say about it. I don't know what it is, but that show just doesn't do anything. You know, it feels like it's just there. I don't have anything really positive or negative to say about it. I mean, I watch it and it's pretty good. You know what? I liked Harrenhal. I thought that what's his name? The weird guy that from the Venom movie. Was it Venom? Or what? No, it was Morbius. That guy, that weird looking guy. He does a pretty good job. On the whole show, he might be the most interesting one. The way he sort of mourned his brother, and he was real haunted by visions of, I guess, his relationship. So, Harrenhal, I think that was the only real noteworthy thing in that whole season 2. Will I keep watching it if there's a season 3? I guess so. What else am I doing with my life, right? So, I'll probably watch House of the Dragon season 3, but I don't know. I could, if I didn't see it, I don't know if I'd care. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I remember when the Game of Thrones show was out. I loved that show, but this show was just kind of there. It's almost like they lost something, and I don't know if it's that they're too focused on dragons, because I thought the dragons was maybe the least interesting part of Game of Thrones, but okay. Daredevil Born Again. I could almost say the exact same thing. Like I don't know how they forgot how to make interesting television. But you got Daredevil, and you just put him in a courtroom half the time or make him mope around. There's just like no reason to really watch that show. It's all set up. It feels like we're getting set up for something greater. And we have Devil's Reign kind of happening in the background with Kingpin. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem to have any beats to it. Like the show just happens. There's the White Tiger, I guess, and vigilantes are being made illegal, which happened in the comics, of course. But you don't have that Dr. Octopus brainwashing him or whatever that was, that he forgot who Matt Murdock was, but he remembered that he remembered, or it's some weird thing in the comic. But you don't have any of that. Instead, you've got Vanessa taking over while he becomes Kingpin. You've got the Punisher, but not a good Punisher. It's the John Bernthal boring Punisher, where all he does is cry and mope and get upset and get overly angry and is not intimidating whatsoever. The show is pretty graphic and brutal, though. The fight scenes, they don't hold back. So they're onto something there. It would be nice if they would actually have something interesting happening in the show. And it felt like Daredevil, they made it very clear that he's overwhelmed, and he can't do this alone. Where are the heroes for hire? Shouldn't he just ask for their help? And Karen got the Punisher to come in and rescue him or whatever. He seems like the last guy that would do that. I don't know. Daredevil Born Again. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it as soon as it came out. In fact, I waited a couple weeks on some of them, and I don't think I would have noticed if I missed it. So again, almost like House of the Dragon, like that's not a good thing about it. You want to show that someone wants to come back and watch. So I think those are the most recent ones I remember watching. Those were probably end of March, April. Now, the almost complete opposite of that. I saw 2 movies in the theater this month. And you know what? Both of them are great. I'll start with maybe one of the worst movie experiences ever, but for a very good film. They, for the 40th anniversary, they released Vampire Hunter D. And I gotta tell you, it was awful. We went to go see it, the subtitled version, and there was this horrible intro. No, it wasn't horrible, but there was this girl talking about the legacy. It took like, I don't know, it felt like 5 minutes of just going on and on about it. It's kind of cool, but then for whatever reason, the subtitled version wasn't working, and the movie kept pausing. And eventually, I went out and complained. A couple other guys went out and complained, and then they put on the dub version, which is fine. I'd rather not read a movie. I'd rather just listen to it. And I noticed that the dub version is totally, some of the lines and stuff are totally different from the one I remember from way back. So this is some sort of a different release, and I never thought of that, but it's different. I'm very curious about that. I guess I'll have to go find a old DVD or VHS on eBay or something and try to get the old dub. I'm interested by that it was so different. But I love Vampire Hunter D. I haven't seen that movie in probably at least 20 years. And that movie is the closest thing to a Castlevania movie we're ever going to get. It's the best outside of the games, the original Castlevania games. It's the best we got. The Netflix Castlevania is trash. It's garbage. It's no good. That's kind of the worst. With those, it's like the worst scenario when we think of House of the Dragon or Daredevil Born Again, where if I miss it, I don't know, but I'll still watch it. I haven't even watched the newest season of Castlevania on Netflix, and I love Castlevania. I don't want to watch it. It's not Castlevania. They don't understand Castlevania's core. Vampire Hunter D kind of does. Like I don't know. They might be. The original Castlevania came out in 1985, and I think this movie was released relatively the same time. So I don't think one was necessarily inspired by the other, but maybe somehow. I'm sure there was a comic book prior to that they were pulling from. So there's something to that. But anyway, Vampire Hunter D the music is fantastic. God, I love it. And there were some things. Now that I'm not in my 20s or a teenager watching this, some things kind of stood out that were a little weird. I think the animation and all that was good, but it's almost like too detailed in certain scenes. Some things are just it almost looks like a 13-year-old drawing. This guy got cut in half. He's gonna have his brains and his guts and everything. You're gonna see it all. I don't know. Kind of something about that stood out to me. And the events of the movie feel like there's a weird time thing going on. Like when he gets killed by the guy with the candle, and suddenly the girl and her little brother were kidnapped like immediately, and they were already at the castle. He just barely got stabbed or whatever. It was so weird. I don't know. And they cut off his hand and all that. It was weird. I like, it felt like there was a missing component of them getting kidnapped. But I guess that happened when they were returning. God, I can't remember. Anyway, something about that whole area of the movie I didn't understand. It feels like there's a missing beat in the movie. But yeah, the theater experience. Something else I kind of thought about when I was watching it at the end of the movie when they kill when Vampire Hunter D kills Magnus Lee, you get the castle crumbles, and you see the moon and the stars and the sun going crazy. I remember not thinking much of that when I saw it when I was younger. I thought maybe this is like 2001 weird ending stuff. But now I watch it, and it's almost like the curse of Magnus Lee being reverted. I think that was what's going on there, and I never really thought of that, because after that you get those picturesque scenes of flowers and countryside. That was great. So yeah, Vampire Hunter D, always good. It was good to see it in the movie theater. I've never done that. So that's one movie I saw in April. I got a second one that I wasn't really thinking much of, but it's a great movie. It is so good. We had to do something with my dad, and we had a little bit of a time period. I'm like, let's go see what's planned. We looked and we saw a movie called I heard a little bit about it, Warfare. I'm like, let's go see it. We walked in probably about 5 minutes late, but we got in there. Man, the tension in this movie and the pressure it builds. Wow. I'm watching this going, I'm at the edge of my seat like this. I'm like, man, this is a good movie. I kept thinking that. I'm like, hey, look at this. This is a good movie. And the characters were like, you could tell they were very focused on task, and yet they were all having a hard time with it. They all had their issues that they were dealing with, and they were just coping with this very scary, dramatic attack on the house that they're in. The families, I don't want to get too much into it, but the family is in there. You can tell that's their house. These American soldiers are occupying it, and they're monitoring this neighborhood, and stuff's about to go down, and it does. And people are getting hurt. They got to get out. And wow, I thought a lot about it. Now, part of this movie too, by the way, it's intense constantly. It's just doesn't, once it goes, it's going. Does not stop. And it never gets boring, and it never gets excessive. It just constantly, it's like a screwdriver just driving in the screw. Just getting deeper and deeper, right? It's great. And I thought about it the whole time. Like I was like, you know, the classic war movies I think about Vietnam. You know, we've got Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket. You've got Platoon. You got some, like, those are the classic war movies. You also have, obviously, World War II, Saving Private Ryan. I could just go on and on. I mean, it almost feels like we really think about those two wars for American history are the wars, right? We don't think a lot about Afghanistan. And I think this was Afghanistan, I'm pretty sure it was. Wasn't, yeah, it had to have been. But yet, that war lasted much longer than the other ones. And I feel like there's a lost story there. There's a lost something. And I like that we have this. Maybe I need to start looking for more movies like that. I remember Hurt Locker. Hurt Locker was good. Because I think we somehow don't, and maybe, no, I don't know if it's too soon. Like Vietnam, we were already thinking about it. In the 70s, we were thinking about Vietnam, like right after. But it's almost like we haven't had a good chance to digest what that was all about. And maybe it's because it really never ended. We never really got a good idea what that was. It's interesting. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit out there. But the movie is fantastic. You should go see Warfare. The actors are great. It's kind of like going back to the Daredevil thing. It's brutal. This movie has got... It doesn't hold back. When people get hurt, they get hurt. And it shows it. And effectively, this whole movie... It doesn't take a long period of time. I think it's all real time. No music. It's all in what's that diegetic sound or whatever. Not like it's all within that scene, right? So it all feels very now, like now. And they're basically they're under attack, need to get out. The other safe houses or whatever need to get out too, and that's basically it. They got to get out, and they got to get support, and they do. And you got this is a neighborhood. This is civilian housing, so they can't go blowing stuff up. But that's kind of happening. It's pretty wild stuff. Anyway, so yeah, House of the Dragon, boring. Daredevil, Born Again. Yes, Daredevil Born Again. Not good. Well, I guess it is what it is. It's not great, but it just feels like we don't know how to make good entertainment anymore. Like we lost something. However, Vampire Hunter D, fantastic movie, classic, and then Warfare, unexpected, but wow, what a good movie. You should go see Warfare.